What's up guys, I'm BTC. Overwatch just dropped a short story with what appears to be a lead to a new character and a brand new legendary skin for Ana. Couple of things to get to. First up is the short story. This takes place immediately after the events of the Ana comic that we had a while back. So Ana is trying to track down someone named Hakim, and she ends up getting involved in a big fight with Soldier 76 and Reaper. Soldier 76 gets hurt, and Reaper ends up having his mask taken off, and Ana sees that he's horribly disfigured underneath, but then he escapes. So Ana tries to tend to Soldier 76, and even though he has some sort of accelerated healing factor, it doesn't heal quite as it should, probably because of some of the modifications that Reaper has to his weapons and all that sort of stuff. So basically, it's just a back and forth of where were you, why didn't you tell us, all this sort of stuff. And then they end up going after Hakim again, and they don't find him, and he gets away. Now, I'm going to be totally honest, the story is pretty bad. It's really not worth reading if you haven't already, so you can just skip it. There's really nothing of any importance. It's just a back and forth of, why didn't you tell so-and-so you were alive? Well, why didn't you tell so-and-so you were alive? Well, why didn't you tell? It just keeps going. It's not particularly interesting, is what I'm trying to get at. The only thing that was interesting was the fact that they brought up Hakim a little bit more than I would have expected, but it does seem that the story built Hakim up to be a much bigger threat than just some random guy. So it is entirely possible that Hakim could find his way into Talon, seeing as he was working with Reaper anyways, or maybe he just has his own organization and he's just some other character that poses a threat, and it could entirely possibly be that he becomes a character at some point in the future, but I'm not really going to hold my breath. So the only thing of any real value to get from all of this, and that I'm sure a lot of people are only going to care about, is that there appears to be a brand new legendary skin for Ana, and this is it right here. It's called Bastet. I don't know if that's what it's going to be called in game, but it probably will be. And you can see that it does have a lot of what would normally be her default character skin, but then you have the mask, and there's also some other little details here and there. Even though it's just kind of like a more fancy version of the default skin, I like it. I think it actually looks quite good, and I really like the way that the mask looks. So, I mean, obviously this is subjective, and you may or may not like the character skin, but I checked in game, it's not on the live version, it's not on the PTR. I think it would be good if they had some sort of mini event where this is, you know, a reward at the end of the week when you do different things or whatever, but they might just end up adding it into the default loot box or maybe something else. It hasn't been announced just yet as I'm recording this, but I'm sure that we'll find out in the next day or two. Most likely when they update the PTR as well. If it just shows up on there, then we'll pretty much know how we're gonna get it. So in short, the story, not really good. You can pretty much skip it. We might get hints at a new character, and of course, the new legendary skin. So what do you think of the new legendary? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to see more, subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss anything. Also, come hang out in my Discord server and my Twitch live stream. Special thanks to my Patreon supporters. If you'd like to see what kind of cool VIP rewards you can get, check the links down below. And remember, always blame the controller, because it's never your fault.